G'day folks, this is Dragon. This is just a gear review on some fire lighting sticks that Next 72 Hours sent me a few weeks ago, and I apologise for taking so long to do some field testing on this. And before I really get into this, thank you very much Next 72 Hours, Phil, for sending these up to me. Phil donated these to me to do some field testing on, which is what we're going to do today. At least one field test anyway. Some more I'd like to do. So thanks very much, Phil, very much appreciated. And I'll put in a disclaimer here, I do not have any financial or other interests in this product other than reviewing it, and hopefully, Phil, you'll be happy with the results. These are made in Australia. I found videos of this on YouTube not so long ago, and I contacted Phil, and who makes these. He hasn't got them in full production yet, and asked him if I could do some field testing on it. The two videos I saw on YouTube, and finally, oddly enough, both members, YouTube members are members of the forum, tested these under controlled conditions inside a garage or inside a building to see how long they burn for, and they burn for 10 minutes. So today we'll do a bit of outdoor field testing on them, and we'll see how we go. Now these sticks are about 2 inches long, made out of some sort of cotton cord, and thoroughly soaked in wax. Now I don't know what sort of wax it is, I haven't asked Phil. It's his project, it's his product. Needless to say, I've only got a very slight smell of wax on the raw product like this. There's no other additives or flammable materials that I can detect in there through smell. And I have done some test burns on these, and they've burned quite well. Now the product is waterproof, and I've had this soaking in a glass of water overnight, so I'll just tip it out. Just wipe the excess water off it. Now these can be lit from a match, cigarette lighter, or a Bic lighter, from a flint and steel. There was some difficulty with that when I first did some tests on this, so I'll run through that later. So what we'll do, try and get this lit. There's a bit of wind blowing today, so we'll actually do an outdoor burn test on it to see how long it burns for. Consider we've got a bit of wind and breeze around, so let's hope I can get this thing lit. Okay, it's away. Just leave it there. Set the timer 10 minutes, so see how we go with that. Okay. One thing Phil did ask me to do, this is what they were originally designed for natural disaster situations. Well, the primary purpose is to be able to light a fire, to sterilise water, and perhaps cook small meal packs and that sort of thing. And one of the things he asked me to do was to feather it using a rock, which I've done. using this rock. I've done this to save a bit of camera time. If you have a look on the end of the rock there, if you can zoom in on that button nose,
Got
you
it.
can see the red wax there. So I feathered the end of this with this rock, and another one here, I feathered the end of it with a multi-tool, or you can use the spine of a knife or something like that just to feather it out a bit. This is to make it easier to light, either with a match or a Bic lighter, or you can light it like I just did before, but also for things like fire tools and things like that. Now, generally speaking, in a natural disaster situation, you find that most people that aren't prep or survival orientated will have matches or a cigarette lighter to light these. That's fine. These can also be used in the survival community out in the bush to light a fire. That's just gone out. I think the wind blew it out. We'll try it again. Okay, sorry about that, folks. It's the first time I've actually tested it outdoors. Might be just a one-off thing. Alright, what we'll do next is I'll try and light one of these with a fire steel. The wind's just blowing that out again. Okay, you're going to have to trust me, that does burn for 10 minutes indoors. Obviously there's a wind problem outside, as you'll find with most things like cigarette lighters and matches. Still smouldering. This wind's variable from all directions at the moment. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. Alright. See if we can get this lit with a fire steel. Okay, one of the things I found during a test a week or two ago, they're about 2 inches long, so it makes it a little bit difficult to get the spark on there, and you've got to hold it either with a foot or something like that. So we'll see how this goes and hope the wind doesn't blow it out. And we have a flame. It's the actual wax on this that burns very well. Just blow it out again.
The wind's become a menace.
Perfect day yesterday. We've got a flame again. Okay, that's burning quite well. What we'll do, we'll try and light a fire with it. burning pretty well. And you may find that using this fire sticks in a lighter fire, that the burn time will be much less. Bring that in there. What I've got here is about a cup of water in a pannikin, so while we're at it, see if we can boil some water. Now, I'll just throw this lid over it. It's a bit windy today, so help it warm up a bit faster. Just making a little fire today because of the wind conditions, but certainly for applications like this you only need a small fire.
What's that white bit, dragon?
Which bit?
That you just put in the fire.
This here? Oh, that's sapwood.
Oh, okay.
It's just the softwood under the sap of a ironbark tree, young ironbark tree. We cut some wood a few days ago.
Oh, okay. So it's wood.
This stuff is still a bit damp too. So in that respect, these fire sticks are very good for lighting damp tinder kindling. Let's close that up a bit. Okay, we'll see if we can get that up to a boil. The wind's blowing it around a bit. So back in a minute, folks. Okay, folks, just got this water up to a boil. It's taken about 10 minutes. It's not a hard boil, but this wind's really knocking the flame and the heat around a bit. So in that respect, the fire sticks that from the next 72 hours and fuel supplied do the job quite well. That kindling was a little bit damp. We had a heavy frost last night and it thawed out. So there we go. So in that respect, Phil, very good as an outdoor fire lighter. A little bit difficult to start with a fire steel, but I guess that comes with practice. Certainly they light very well off a match or a big lighter. And what I'm going to try and do again is try and do a 10-minute burn. So back in a sec, folks, we'll try to sort this out. Okay, folks, we'll try this 10-minute burn outside again. What I did was empty out the Vargo stove here. I've still got to do a review on that yet. So I light it up. It's certainly more wind resistant than a match or a big lighter. Today is one of those days. I'll set the timer. 10 minutes, okay. Now what's actually burning on there is the wax, and the cotton cord is the actual medium that the wax is soaked through. Now one of the things I found with this when feathering the ends on them is that because the wax is permeated so much into the fibre of the material, particularly when using a blast match, when you feather it, you've really got to get down to fibre level and just scrape off some of the wax. makes it a little bit easier to light with the flint and steel, one of these types of things. Not a problem with a match or a cigarette lighter or big lighter. You don't even have to feather it. So that's something to think about. Right, that's still burning, so back soon, folks.
One.
Okay, folks, we're about 5 minutes into the burn and it hasn't gone out. So it needs a bit of wind protection, just burning it by itself. And I don't know if you can see it there in camera. It's around about halfway, half burnt. So with the timer here, we're about 5 minutes into the burn. So that's pretty consistent with a 10-minute burn. So we'll be back soon. Alright folks, the alarm clock here, timer went off, 10 minutes, and yep, flame's just gone out. So you do get a 10-minute burn out of them in the outdoors. Today wasn't exactly an ideal day with the wind, although I will say that it is more wind resistant than matches or a big lighter. It's just we had some gusty wind before that blew this one out, so in that respect, yeah, very good. I do like the product. It's certainly light years ahead of the cotton ball straws that we did a video on last year. If I could make a couple of suggestions, Phil, perhaps a little bit longer. These weigh next to nothing. They're about 2 inches long at the moment, so probably I'd say maybe half an inch longer if you could. I'm not sure what process you use to make these. And the wax on these, yes, it does make them waterproof. They can be lit directly off a match or a big lighter without feathering the end. Having said that, feathering the end to light off a fire steel, it does require quite a bit of preparation work, in that you've virtually got to thread it right down and try and remove some of that wax so that these can light it. Not impossible, it can be done, takes a bit of practice. And when I first got these from Phil, I just couldn't light it with one of these after watching Phil's video. So I persevered with it a little bit more, and that's the problem I found, is that when you feather it, you've got to thread it right down to the cotton, remove as much of the wax as possible, and away you go. I spoke to Phil on the phone. I don't know if he's actually marketing these yet. I believe he's making them himself at home. But he was throwing a figure around for 3 packs, and each pack contains 6, so you get 18 sticks for around about $5 or $6. That was at the time of the conversation, so I don't know if that's still the case, or whether Phil's still going to go into full production with it. So he's also setting up shop on Facebook. Next 72 Hours it's called, if you want to look it up. He's got other products in there, and he's got other products that he's developing as well. So good product, Phil. I like it. Does work in the bush. This is just a small field test we did today, and it worked quite well despite the wind. And again, thank you very much for your donation, and I look forward to probably talking to you again about other products. Thank you.